I'm sat here on a rather wet and grey day overlooking the city of Hereford. You may be able to see the cathedral in the distance there, it's right in front of you. I'm at the base of Dynedor Hill, which is a few miles south of the city. And I'm here to talk about Leave No Trace. I'm sat on a stile. I'm just off on a training walk. I always put weight in my sack. Got a sandbag in my sack. Walk around with about 22 pound. Yeah, it's nice, it's fresh. But the Leave No Trace campaign on YouTube at the present moment is very much with me, because Richard, otherwise known as Cotton Bud, wonderful chap, very creative, talented man. If you don't know Richard and you don't know Cotton Bud, check out his channel in the link below and up above. You won't be disappointed. He does some interesting things. Well, Richard tagged me in relation to the Leave No Trace campaign. And of course it all started with Dan at Camp Life Bushcraft. And Dan is another excellent YouTuber as well. Brilliant videos. Truly, he does some amazing camps. So he started it. And evidently, you know, it's kind of got around at the present moment. Lee, Burton Outdoors, did a great video the other day. Ash Outdoors did a fantastic video. And there are numerous other people as well. So evidently it's something that we're all passionate about. And I'm no exception. I mean, I've never dropped litter. Many years ago, when I was on the street, I used to put cigarette butts in my pocket. Yeah, in my pocket. You can just imagine how I smelt, and I didn't smell too good either. I'd treat myself worse than I would the pavement, do you know what I mean? I just wouldn't drop litter. And I remember in the city many years ago when I used to be out there on the street and, you know, hanging out with homeless people, travellers passing through, addicts, etc, etc, and they would make a mess. Truly, a lot of these people would make a mess. And Paul and I, on more occasions than I can count, and one or two others, granted, would grab a bin liner from somewhere and clean it all up. We'd blitz it, clean it all up. We just couldn't walk away and leave a mess. So it's part of my character not to, as Richard said in his video, not to leave it in a state which impacts upon the enjoyment of others, because you know you like to go to a place and you like to feel, as Richard puts it, that nobody has been there or defiled it before. I mean, you don't want anyone to defile it, but what you want to feel is that, you know, this pristine environment. I mean, I'm sat at the base of a woodland now. This pristine environment is there for us to connect with in a pristine way, because then we get the best out of it, don't we? I mean, just the mere sight of somebody's poor thinking, and that's what it's about. Poor thinking really does impact upon our heart and our minds, because, you know, when people leave rubbish behind, or when they leave a scarred campsite because of fire, it means they're not extending goodwill. Do you know what I mean? There's no goodwill. We feel goodwill. It's a vibration, and this is what I want to talk about. This is a bit of an alternative message, because it is a vibration. Thought creates. This is my point. I'll walk about, change the view just a bit. There's the city of Hereford beyond. And there's the woodland to my rear. And do you know what? That woodland is exuding a vibration, a frequency. It's not just stood there. It's not inanimate, is it? It's a vibration. And this is why we feel good when we come out. People wonder why nature works in order to alleviate their pain. Well, it's because it's a vibration. It vibrates at a certain frequency. And because we're electromagnetic, we absorb that frequency. And so, hence, it makes us feel good. I.e., we're connected. We're connected to everything. Fine gossamer threads stretching way out into the universe. And of course, we're connected to people's thinking as well. So, when people leave a mess, it actually makes us feel sick. It doesn't make us feel good at all because it's sick thinking. It's very derisory, it's debasing, isn't it? And that thought has been broadcast, it's out in the ether now, and we're picking it up. This is one of the reasons. It's not just about the visual, it's not just about the rubbish on the floor. It's about the frequency, it's about the vibration, it's about the thought that created it. You know, everything is thought created. You know, that style down there, you know, down here. Thought created that. Thought creates everything. The orchard in front of me, people had to plant it, design it. Thought creates. You know, my rucksack, people were in a lab designing it. Thought creates. So yeah, what do we do about this horrible thought that we're sometimes greeted with outdoors? Because I'd like to approach it as a thought. Do you know what I mean? Well, we live in a system, and this is my core message really. We live in a system. And some of you are going to say, well, I don't see the connection, but it's very simple. We're up against it. This is like the Battle of Britain. This rubbish. I just walked past a tree now, and nailed to the tree, this was in the city, was don't leave your crap behind. Pick it up, don't leave it in the bush. i.e. they're talking about poo, they're talking about dog poo. So there again is a battle in order to keep the streets clean. So everyone, all sorts of different sectors, not just the wild camping sector, is up against it. Why is it here? Why do people do it? Well, the people that are doing it, the people that are littering and just leaving a mess, I mean, some people are really ugly with it, aren't they? I mean, just look at this previous relaxing of the lockdown. People heading for the beaches and the mountains and the hills. The mess they're leaving behind is absolutely incredible. Well, where's that coming from? Where is that lack of care coming from? What is the root? What's the root of it? This is what I want to talk about. Yes, I want to talk about pick up your rubbish. Pick it up, guys. If any of you guys are listening who are sort of outside of our community, if you happen to come across this video and you're listening, pick up your rubbish. It doesn't take effort at all. You know, as I think it was Lee, Burton Outdoors, you know, he said, you know, you take your cans out, weighs heavy, you drink it, it's much lighter. What's the problem? Take it with you. Very good point. But my point is that we're up against it. No amount of words, no amount of posters. I mean, there have been some massive campaigns in the past. What can I think of? Keep Britain Tidy. That was a massive campaign, wasn't it? I'll keep walking around so you can see different views. We're back to the city, look. In the distance there. Yeah, so Keep Britain Tidy. All these campaigns have been waged before. And has it made a difference? No. Our planet is in a mess. Our cities are in a mess. Our mountains, our woodland, you know. I mean, who showed that the other day? Oh, it was clips. I say Lee, Burton Outdoors, he did a great video, brilliant video. He employed different clips. And one guy up in Scotland, I think, was sharing with us the mess that was left to the side of a lock. And I mean, it was disgusting. I mean, what? Whew. So yeah, where does that disgusting thought come from? Well, it's very simple. We live in a consumer system. You know, we've got to encourage people to consume in order for this machine to continue. Profit. Profit has become king. Not the environment. The environment isn't king. Profit is king. Right? Now the thing is with profit and making that king, making the material world king and queen, is that you're always going to have a huge percentage of society buy into that. And so their objective is to obtain certain high-end items, obtain a lovely house, £1 million, £2 billion house, four-wheel drive, the best gear, you know, best outdoor gear, the best trips, the best travel, right? Things that cost money. Now you think, well, what's the connection there? Well, it's really easy. When you're making that your primary objective in life, to obtain these things, you're putting yourself in a position whereby others can't obtain it. We live in a differential. It's competition. There's always going to be losers. Now, for those that can't obtain it, there's only one feeling they are left to feel, and that is envy. Envy. Now, if you're feeling envy in the world in relation to things that are seemingly unobtainable around you, then what are you going to do? You're going to identify that as a lack of care, aren't you? There's no care in it. People are obtaining these wonderful high-end items and driving around the streets in them and this, that and the other. They're broadcasting an idea, aren't they? They're broadcasting the idea that they are okay. I'm alright, Jack. Right? That's an idea, that's a thought. So yeah, people are going to reflect that. That's a lack of care, right? Bottom line, that's a lack of care. That doesn't care for people, that doesn't care for the planet, that doesn't care for anything but the self. And so what's going to happen is, out of a massive system, you're going to have people reflect it. And that's what we've got. You see the rubbish everywhere, that is a reflection of the system. Right? It's as plain as it gets. So it's all connected to thought. What we think, we create. If you send out a thought, right, which pertains to you having something of value that others cannot access, i.e., what you're doing is intently going out to create envy. That's what you're doing. So if you're intently creating that, i.e. anguish in other people, those people are going to go, well, I don't give a fuck either. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about you. And I don't give a shit about the planet. It's all reflected. And yet the funny thing is, these people in nice homes, middle class homes, upper middle class homes, very high-end homes, right? Seemingly good jobs, civil citizens, right? Civil society, right? And they speak of these standards. They would no doubt put down people littering our streets, littering our woods. And yet look at the thought they're broadcasting. Look at what's at the heart of it. Nah, you know, and I'm not a left wing. I'm not like socialist. I'm just looking at what the reality is. So, you know, yeah, keep it tidy. But we've really got to understand what's at the root of this, and it's far deeper than just people throwing a bit of litter on the floor. It's much deeper. It's a sickness, guys. It's a sickness in our human race, and we're all connected to it. So if you want to do something about it, change how you live, change what you aspire to. That's my message to you, right? Because this differential, this want for separation, isn't helping our planet. It's really hurting it. So, you know, I'm enjoying this view, by the way. I'm enjoying the rain today. I'm enjoying the sounds. Wonderful. I want the planet to be healthy. I want people to be healthy. But it's certainly not going to be if we continue along this path as a human race. Just won't. You know, and I look down there, the old SAS base used to be down there, and I think about my dad now, and Lofty Wiseman, and, you know, Joe Locke, and loads of other, Jimmy Bond, and loads of other SAS guys. My dad used to say to me, "Leave no trace, lads." That's what he used to say to me. Of course, on operations, you know, if you left mess behind, the chances are, you know, your enemy would locate you and you would die. So yeah, I mean, they did it, took their waste with them because they were at war. Do you know what I mean? And we're at war. There is a war. It's a spiritual war. It's a mental war. It's an emotional war. Because the sickness is entrenched in our system, and everyone is involved. Yeah, it hurts and it feels sick, but it runs much, much deeper. And so, you know, I thank Dan for starting the campaign. Brilliant, Dan. You had the courage to do that and to send the message out. So thumbs up to you. Thumbs up to everyone who's done a video. Ash and Lee and other people. Brilliant. We need to be talking about it. We need to be debating this. But the debate really needs to go deeper, doesn't it? Because there are so many links. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, it's a beautiful day, and I've enjoyed the talk. It's so vast, this subject. And some good points have been made, but it requires humanity to shift its thinking, shift its behavior. It's huge, it's massive. And I don't want to get anyone down, but you begin to understand when you start to talk about it in broader terms, you begin to understand just what we're up against. We're up against the system. The consumer system, the system that competes, the system that goes out and grabs stuff, you know, because that's a lack of care. That broadcasts a lack of care, and other people reflect it. So, all right, it's a beautiful day, it's raining, it's fresh, it's not like July at all. Debate. All right guys, that is it from me. From Dynedor Hill, just outside of Hereford. Until next time, take good care. Bye now.